So we had to replace this door because my kids put a hole in it. So my husband was able to install a new door. We got it from Home Depot. It's already pre-primed. Before you paint, you can do a little bit of sanding on it. I'm not gonna go for it though. Don't like the extra work. But we have trim paint that we used previously on our trim. So I'm just gonna pull that out and repaint or paint this door so it matches our trim. This door actually has been like this for a couple of months. House projects, it's kind of hard to complete them all the time, and when you're working full time and you got other family things to do on the weekends. Since I will be painting the door and having the paint out, I am going to touch up. Look at that. There's a lot of dirtiness on the trim. This is our main walkway into the laundry room. So I'm going to do touch up on our trim and probably go around the house too and touch up the trim that has gotten dinged or stained with something. When you're painting, you're going to want to go with the green. So here you would go up and down, but up here you would actually go left to right. And that allows the paint to be able to go into the grooves, and it makes the door smoother when you go along with the green. When you're painting, you'll want to watch for these drips. If you do a thin layer of paint the first time, you'll get less of these drips. And the paint and the door will be smoother looking. So when you get these though, you just use a brush and just wipe it away. But you want to catch it while the paint is still wet, otherwise it will dry hard. And you want to watch for these as you paint. It's probably actually best to paint from the top down. And I actually am going from the down up. So on the other side of the door, I will start from the top down. So that way if I drip, I will be going over that anyways. I can catch them a lot easier. I have my first coat of paint on, and it actually looks pretty good. I think I'm only going to need to do 2 coats of paint. And I did do touch up on the trim, and I do have drips on the floor, but with the laminate flooring, the paint comes right up as long as you use latex paint. You just pick the paint off with your nails when it dries, or you could use a dull spatula or butter knife or a putty knife, and it comes right up. I use a paintbrush when I paint in the house with touch-up or with just the door, because rollers end up making splatters, little tiny splatters everywhere. And while a paintbrush just puts drips on the floor, which are way easier to clean up than splatters on the wall, splatters all over the floor, splatters on whatever items are near the item that you're painting. I would have to cover up the fridge right here if I was using a roller, and the cabinets if I was using a roller, because it just splatters everywhere from when I have used rollers anyways. On this side of the door, I went from top down to the bottom, and I definitely was able to collect all the drips. There's only a couple actually that I caught. This is a dollar store paintbrush that I was using, and it actually works very well. The paintbrush has not really fallen apart. A couple hairs have came off the paintbrush and then stuck to the door as I was painting, but I just easily picked off the hair and repainted that area, and it looked just fine. The brush is not falling apart. So these are brushes that you could just basically buy from the dollar store and then use them and then toss them. This was a 2-pack, a big one like this and then a smaller one, and it's only back. And then the type of paint we're using Glidden High Endurance paint. It's just a grab and go gloss with the color white in our trim indoors in our house. And it adheres actually very well. I think I'm only going to need to do 2 coats. So this is the second coat on the door, and it will be the final coat. It actually went on pretty well. Second coat was a thin layer of paint, and it covered up very nicely. Went around the house and did touch up on the other doors. And it took me a total of almost 3 hours to paint this door with 2 coats and to do touch up on the other doors around the house. So not too bad on time. Laundry shelf. Where we store our laundry detergent, and the laundry detergent ends up dripping on the shelf, so I end up washing and repainting. Touch up a front door. See, here's our pantry door, and I'm going to be touching up this too since I have the paint out. See, you can see dirt and stuff on the door. So I'll be getting these. Touch up a pantry door. Going around the house and doing touch-up paint on the doors and trim have made it look cleaner and newer. It is amazing how many dings and stains you get on the doors, trim, and walls. I'm gonna have to go around and do touch up on the walls. As I was doing touch up on the trim and doors, I saw there's a lot more work to be done on more trim and the walls.